Live. So that's awesome. So we are live, I'm hoping, on Facebook and YouTube and a couple of the different pages. We're going to check in on that. But I am here today with my good friend, Doug Boughton. Am I saying that right, Doug? Boughton,
yes,
right?
You are, Boughton, yep.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah.
So Doug is the founder of Sales Funnel Mastery. He is a ClickFunnels Dream Car winner, which is so awesome. And he created the 5-day Freedom Funnel Challenge. We happen to be twinning today, which I absolutely love. And I asked Doug to come on and talk about basically what you're doing to help entrepreneurs create freedom in their life.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I'm just trying to pull up the comments so I can see if anyone's jumping on. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop. We are looking at the comments. Yeah, so my whole thing was like, I don't know, even from when I was growing up, like having paper routes and things like, I don't know if you guys know what a paper route is, but it's like newspaper delivery service stuff.
Yeah, so we used to do that in the snow, and you would like try and not slip on the sidewalk. Yeah.
Right. Me and my brother had like 5 paper routes, but I was always trying to find ways to like make my own freedom, make my own income. And for me, it wasn't really until like, I went to college and got into a ton of debt and didn't even finish school to like really get a fire under me. But it took me like 8 years of like just trying things and not working out. And like, I really want to help shortcut people's success online. You know what I mean? Like just maybe not the first attempt. I think we do all need some failures, you know what I mean? But we fail forward and we learn from that and we could evolve from that.
Yes. Can we talk about student loan debt for a moment? That is what I connected with you on. I mean, a couple of years ago, I saw an interview with you and you were just flat out honest. And I feel like a lot of people need to hear that these days.
Yeah. Yeah. So I took out $56,000 of student loans to go to Drexel in Philadelphia. And it was a 5-year program. My senior year, I couldn't get a cosigner. So I ended up dropping out like just 1 term shy. And that debt actually more than doubled. It became $114,000. And that was from accrued interest from day one of signing the note. And like, that to me just seems like robbery. It's just like really unfair. And like, it's my own fault for not reading and like knowing that. But just, I wasn't thinking that way when I was 18 years old, trying to just get out of Connecticut and go, you know what I mean?
Completely. And I might add, you know, at 18 years old, we've been through what we think is a ton of schooling. We get out of high school, we go into college, and we're not really told about what accruing interest looks like, what personal debt looks like. And so, yeah, I feel the exact same way coming out of grad school. Can you talk about how it felt emotionally and then how you've then overcome that?
Yeah, I mean, it was hard for me. I mean, I've done the math, and even like with the math, like I've paid over $200,000 to date because like of the recurring interest over the last 10 years of paying these things off. But I just remember like getting that phone call. I got a phone call from Sally Mae. At the time, it was Sally Mae. Now Navient bought them out or whatever it was. And they told me, yeah, you have to, how do you plan on paying back this? And they sent me the information. It was $114,000. When I saw that, I would just like, I was actually pretty angry. I was really angry at like just the whole thing. Like, how am I going to pay this back? I'm already working a full-time sales job plus 2 restaurant jobs, and I could barely keep up. Like now I have to add, you know, another $1,000 bill on my monthly bills, and most of that was interest only. So it's like, you know, they couldn't really work with me. Like there was a lot of frustration for sure.
Oh my goodness. And then, so I love what you said about how you've been 8 years in business and you feel like it requires a certain set of failures. So how did you maintain I kind of think of it as like a marathon. Like how have you maintained your energy to go, okay, I owed a lot of money, but I know I have to go through the valley of entrepreneurship to get to the other side. Like how has that been for you?
Yeah, well, I feel like it's like, you know, the obstacle is the way, right? And it's like, I wonder if I didn't have that debt, if I ever would have, you know, pursued online marketing, because really it was my grandmother, what we call her Nani. She approached me. She was my co-signer, and she said, Doug, like you got to take care of these things. You should come check out this opportunity I was presented with. So she actually introduced me to network marketing. And
Grandma, awesome.
Yeah. And, you know, she doesn't do it anymore. I don't do it anymore. But that was my first introduction, was network marketing. And from there, just like went on this whole journey of trying to make money online. So it's like, yeah, it's interesting. I wonder if like that debt didn't exist, if I'd be doing what I'm doing today. So that's kind of the way I look at it now.
That's really powerful, Doug. And I feel so alike in that sense. But I also know that I hear from people that are stuck in a job they hate and thinking that they cannot become an entrepreneur because they have the debt. What do you say to somebody like that?
I mean, you got to make it work. Like I was working at least 50 hours a week minimum at the restaurant, and I would work until midnight, even some nights later, and I'd come home and do work for at least 2 hours until my eyes are falling, like I'm falling asleep at the computer.
Yeah.
But I would wake up and I would do a few more hours and then I go to work. But when it comes to debt, like I don't think that it doesn't really cost much to start a digital marketing business. When you think about it, like we don't have overhead, we don't have some people have an office, but we could work right out of our homes, maybe a couple software costs, and that's really it, and you're in business. So I don't think that debt is gonna crush anybody. I think if anything, it should motivate you more to go make that money quicker and get rid of that debt.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I completely agree. And I've seen you, I feel like some of it too is that late nights, early morning, which we all do as entrepreneurs to build it, and keeping the consistency. And you've been really somebody I've seen that's shown up consistently since the very beginning. What are some of the things that you either do or say to yourself on low days, because we all have them, for you to still show up?
Yeah, it's hard. Like, I'll be honest, like right now I am like so underslept, and it's like, it's my own fault, but like, I'm just so like build mode right now. And it's like, if I'm not in bed by a certain time, I get this second wind of energy, and if you guys can relate, let me know. But I'll be at the computer at midnight, and all of a sudden I got this full rush of energy, and I'm like working. I got the flow going. Creative flow is strong. And it's like, you can't ignore that. You have to work when you have that flow going. You know what I mean? So I know for me, but when it comes to being consistent, like I'm trying to become more and more consistent, especially when it comes to like publishing content. And, even like, it's funny, like 6 months ago, I wasn't even working from a calendar. But now it's like every Sunday I plan out my week and I figure out, what am I posting? What am I doing? And, I'm just trying to make the process better and easier as I go, because like right now I'm pretty much day to day with my content, but I'm really trying to get to the point where I do it in like the first day of the month and just batch create everything, schedule it all out. And, that's how you can become consistent, is when you actually plan ahead.
Yeah, nice. I love that. But everybody's got to start somewhere. And I think if you're waiting until it's perfectly scheduled, perfectly planned to start, then you won't start. So I want to talk about your 5-day freedom funnel. So first of all, what is a freedom funnel, and how do people do this in 5 days? Because I've found that building funnels takes a lot of energy and effort.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys probably all have heard of the One Funnel Away Challenge. You go through 30 days, and some people come out of that and they're still like, what the heck am I doing? What is a sales funnel? What am I putting together here? And for me personally, I went through the One Funnel Away Challenge probably like every time that first year that it came out. Like I think I did it at least half a dozen times. And most of it was because I was also teaching, or like, I was selling the One Funnel Away Challenge. So I would bring in a group of people and then go and teach my takeaways from it. But I think as far as like my workshop, the 5-day workshop, for me, it's like, I can't go do a 30-day workshop for free because no one's gonna stick out, that long. But for 5 days, it's basically just one task a day. And by the end of it, you're gonna have a free course built out. So for like me and my journey, I'm trying to think of like reflecting back on the previous year or so. It's like, how was I successful? What did I do? And what can I go and help people do that I did? So I just created a free course, and my group is called Sales Funnel Mastery: 5 Ways to Monetize ClickFunnels. And one of the things I noticed when I first started online was people are using ClickFunnels, are paying for it, but a lot of people aren't making money with it. You know what I mean? They're just paying that monthly recurring software cost. And I just wanted to identify different ways to make money with ClickFunnels. So I went out and created that free course, and I gave it away for free. I reached out to everybody I could. I'm like, hey, join my Facebook group. I'm gonna give you a free course when you do that. And that free course now has brought over 10,000 leads into my email list and my world now. So it's pretty cool.
Nice. So in 5 days, you have gotten somebody's knowledge out of their mind. They've created an online course that they're giving away for free. And now they have this lead magnet, essentially, this like lead funnel.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Amazing.
at least like they have the plan, because, go out there and create a full course in 5 days is crazy, but we do map it out. So like day one, it's like finding your path, because a lot of people that find me on Facebook or YouTube or whatever it is, they are still trying to figure out what they want to do. You know what I mean? So we like find your path. And then we outline the course area, and then we build it. And if you guys use any kind of like ClickFunnels, is super simple to create a course area. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing though. I mean, mapping it out is one of the biggest things. What's the most unique course that somebody has come into the group doing?
Herpetology, which is like lizards and like reptiles, and so they teach. Yeah, I honestly don't even know. They never joined my program, so I'm not sure what ended up happening with them, because basically I do the 5-day workshop, and then at the end I make an invitation to work with me. And we usually have like about 800 to 1,000 people sign up every month for that workshop. And then I would say probably about around 50 people join each month, which is really good.
Nice. Okay, so can I talk to you about that? Because I know there's so many people that I work with, that entrepreneurs, where the giving away for free is the easy part. And then when it comes to saying, hey, here's an invitation to work with me more, have you ever dealt with, I don't know how to make this ask, or, certain layers of thought patterns of how do I make this offer in a way that feels, authentic to me, and then also still makes sales and creates transformation for people?
Yeah, that's such a good question, because like, we all see people doing different marketing tactics out there. And I try to really tread lightly with like things like fake scarcity and things like that. But for me, it's like just being open and honest with them. Like everybody that joins my workshop knows by day 5, there's going to be an offer made. Like I mentioned it day 1, and I allude to it all week long. You know what I mean? And I ask permission. So I think it's just asking permission. So you see a lot of people do that. Like they get to the point where, like, is it okay if I share this with you? A lot of people have been asking me, how do you work with me? Well, is it okay if I share with you guys that give enough value to this week to make this offer to you? You know what I mean? So
yes, that's the way to do it. I liked what you said there about treading lightly on the false scarcity. And I feel like we learned a lot of direct marketing education that, really was about long form sales letter that showed up in people's mailboxes. And now we're inundated with stuff on every single platform all the time. And so I really love that. I love that there are those of us out there that are wanting it to be truly authentic. So that's beautiful. Something I admire about you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's funny. You mentioned, like, we got to think about, like, marketing's been around forever, right? And it's like, what did people do before the internet? And it was like I just got a letter in the mail from Stephen Larson with an eraser, and I'm like, what the heck is this? And so I open up the package, I'm looking at it, and it's just funny, like those techniques still work to this day. When people say like email is dead, or whatever else, like, no, it's not. That's not true. Like, these things all work. And if you could just take like what they were doing 100 years ago and just apply the principles to what we're doing, you can adapt. So
yeah, and I've been doing a lot of research recently. Forbes came out with an article, was talking about polling different customers and what they expect out of the customer experience. And since COVID, because we all feel more isolated, customers are preferring more human touch and more phone calls and more video rather than a lot of text. So just also learning where we're at as human beings, because this world is changing at an exponential rate.
Yeah, we're watching it unfold right now. Like, it's just like, it's for like us, I feel like there wasn't a huge change. Like, I remember people, because I've worked from home for like 2 years now, but when I work remote, like, that's kind of crazy to think about. Like, I remember Zoom lagging and all these things. Like, I ordered a new monitor and I still haven't got it. So anything like related to video or equipment, it's just, everything's kind of, everything's adjusting, so it's definitely interesting. I'm wondering where it's going to go. I think one of the most exciting things about this new direction is like self-education. I think that's going to be huge. And then people working from home, like they could easily, they know they could start a business online, or at least a side thing for now that could become a full-time thing. So like, I really encourage people to go out there and, you have to fail forward though. So it's like, you're not going to get it on your first try, but try something, start somewhere and then just see where it leads you.
Yeah, I think it's an important thing because I also heard that failing forward a lot, that phrase, and I just didn't know what it meant because to me,
Yeah.
failure meant that you were face down in a sidewalk in a pool, like a pool of your own tears, and like there was no end in sight. And so I think kind of bringing back this sense that a failure might look like you bought a domain, built a landing page, talked about it, didn't get any traction, boom, you had to move on. Like it doesn't always have to be like this, the fields are burning kind of experience to consider it a failure and to fail forward.
Yeah, like, I mean, I think about my first I literally did like 27 different things, counted them all up. I was jumping from business to business, multi-level marketing, affiliate marketing, e-commerce, like all the things. And like when I moved, I actually found a box of all the things I was selling, and like I added them up. I'm like, man, I was jumping around, and that's imposter syndrome at its finest, or not, shiny object syndrome at its finest. But all those things like led me to where I am today. It's like I found ClickFunnels because of the skills I gained from doing offline marketing, and then I was trying to build websites with WordPress, and every skill I learned from those 27 businesses, like I took something with me, and it led me to the next thing.
That's amazing. So what's your biggest thing right now? I know you're doing the challenge, but I feel like you have more to share with what you're working on right
now. It's one of those things, like I try to think like, I'm a digital marketer, big in the sales funnel world. And it's like, if I were to leave the world tomorrow, like I don't want to remembered for sales funnels, and, or, I mean? So go say, what is that big idea? But like, we can't have like that kind of, the next thing has to show its face, right? So like do this thing and the next thing will show its face. And I always encourage people to like not think too far ahead of that big idea. Like, what am I doing here, right? But for me, it's like collaboration. Like I'm really big on for a lot of the success I had in my program and selling my program was through my affiliates, like collaborating with them and making them partners of my program, and they could go out there and promote it. So something I want to do in the near future is help people build out their own partner program, like their own affiliate program, referral program, joint venture strategy. And I just know that there's a really great way to grow online without using paid ads, and it's through collaborations.
Yes, I love that. Well, everybody be on the lookout for that. I will too. I just finished my first group program that I did exclusively, like launched it on my own and then had help co-coaching the experience. But we had 20 people come through, and my strategist just told me yesterday, get them on an affiliate link, have them promote the program. So I'm definitely looking to learn from you as well and how you've done that. So cool. I love that you're doing that. And I love that what you said about not having to think so many steps ahead. Mm-hmm. I think it is so prevalent of the clients and the entrepreneurs that I work with, where they'll say, oh, I love this thing. Oh, but I don't want to be known for that. I don't want to know if I can do that my whole life. I'm not sure. And I'm just like, that is coming from such an old place, of you take one job and you stay in it until retirement, and then that's all you do your whole life. And so I think giving ourselves permission to know that we can be known for it for right now, and we can use it as a stepping stone to move forward. Because I hear that so often. They're like, I don't know if this is it. And I'm like, let it be something though, if you're called to do it.
Yeah, it's like the next thing will show its face, and it's like it's going to be one step at a time. And it's something I do in my workshop, like on the first day, because I think people come in like, oh, I have no idea what I'm going to do. Like, what am I going to create a course around? So I give them a bunch of questions to ask themselves to find out like what they can do, or, like, what do you love about your current job? What jobs have you worked in the past? Like maybe you left an old job to get a new job for a pay raise, but you maybe lost that passion you felt back at that old job. So like just digging and asking, like you could really uncover something and then go out there and do that thing at least for like 6 months. Like a lot of people just do something for a month and stop, do something for 2 months and stop. So when you really commit and you do something, it's going to evolve, so that's really the best piece of advice I could give somebody that's like starting out is go out there and really just do the thing and just wait for the next thing to show its face.
Yes. Yes, so powerful. I also talk to a lot of people a lot about their alignment. What do they want their life to really look like? Because oftentimes I don't know if you remember as a high schooler flipping through books that would talk about the career profile and what degree in college would pay you the most amount of money. And it just became this game where you'd like look through these pages and trying to figure out, oh, what am I going to do for the money that I kind of quasi like? And I feel like if you're an entrepreneur, you're a conscious creator of your whole life. So it has to be built on more than just what's going to make me money. But it doesn't have to be forever. It can be the thing that you can do now because it's aligned, and then move forward, like you said, and learn more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so like I think like about the money too. Like it's a lot of people just try to go sell stuff. Like I see a lot of even big marketers out there just focused on selling. Like go and launch your thing and sell. I'm like, what about the delivery? Like what about helping the people? You know what I mean? And it's like you can't lose that. Like that's something I'm really big on in my program. I'm sure you are too. It's like I don't even want to sell more until I get these people results. You know what I mean? And it's just so important to me because it's like everything I create, I'm trying to create something I wish I had when I first started out. I'm always thinking about like 22-year-old me and a bunch of debt. Like what did I need back then? And like what could I have taught or done or, you know, helped with to get me that result sooner? But wind gust coming in.
Nice. Your door just popped open by a gust?
Popped open, yeah. There's stuff going on, so hopefully it's not too loud.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you hear that?
I can. Do you want to close it?
Yeah, you can shut it.
Okay, cool. And for anyone watching, you know, feel free to drop in questions, any questions you have for Doug. One of the things that I promised we would talk about is the technology that it takes. And I don't mean we have to go crazy in depth on like exactly which platform and how to set it up, but more from a general sense, there's a lot of people that are thinking to themselves, well, I could do this if I were tech savvy. And so, you know, what are your insights for people like that in your workshops and in your programs?
Yeah, I mean, maybe like 10 years ago, I would say, yeah, it's a hard thing to figure out because like that was me. I was using, and not that WordPress is hard to figure out, but that's what I was doing, trying to build a website with WordPress and build a landing page with optimized press. And I really couldn't figure it out. Like, and that can be very crippling. And I even see people, you know, trying to figure out the domains and like DNS records, like that stuff, honestly, like kind of trips me up still. I'm not, you know, and I've done a lot now, but, you know, the beautiful thing is like there are so many different platforms out there now that make it so simple to get your message and your products online that you could sell and you could receive and take payments and it goes right into your bank account. And, you know, you could build out your email list and it's just a lot easier now than it used to be. And you don't even need like an expensive piece of software, honestly. Like, you know, I've seen people make sales funnel. It's really crazy. Like on a Google Doc, like they legit have a Google Doc with a PayPal link at the bottom. I'm like, that's pretty crazy, but it works, you know? So
yeah,
whatever you get started. But yeah, there's just so many different, like I was looking at my software bill the other day and I'm like, wow, I pay for a lot of software, but they really do make it so simple for people like us that want to start an online business or have an online business to, you know, make it easier for us. So
yeah, I love that you said that, and I love you put it into context of time. As I think I've been mentioning this a lot, but The Social Dilemma on Netflix, the documentary, it's amazing. Some scary stuff in there, but they talk about technology and the technological growth become this sort of like hockey stick of growth, because, you know, cars aren't that much faster than they were 10 years ago, but our iPhones are thousands of times more powerful. And so it's like, I think it's reminding people that whatever you thought you knew about WordPress and the plugin madness and all that stuff, it has changed, and it's changing so quickly. There are literally softwares that are being developed right now that like a child can use. So yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's funny to see, like, even like with ClickFunnels, at least, like, I know there's a lot of funnel builders out there or like website builders, but like they have kids building funnels, and like these kids are literally hitting 2 Comma Club with their funnels, or like some are at 6 figures, some are hitting. Like, it's just cool to see that, because if a kid could do it, like their whole message, like if a kid could do it, you could do it.
Yes.
It's just learning, right? So like anything, there's YouTube. You know, like YouTube was my best friend starting out when I was trying to figure out like all the technical stuff, you know. and just trying to educate myself. And, you know, once you learn it and you do it a few times, like it's going to be burnt in. So like, people say like, oh, I can't figure this out. Like, that's not true. That's just something you're telling yourself to hold you in the comfortable space that you're in. Like, get uncomfortable, go learn something new, and keep doing it until you have it down pat. And then, you know, I always find, like when I took the 1 Funnel Away challenge, for example, like teaching it really helped me absorb and retain it. So like I would go learn it, and then I'd go present that day's training to my audience. And like, that's another thing too. So like, go learn something, make a YouTube video on it, you know?
Nice. Yeah. That's great. You're helping people create free courses too, because it helps solidify the thing they're good at doing by teaching it. So that's amazing. I like what you said too about it is the story that people are telling themselves. And it spans beyond just the tech platform or the tech confusion. It also goes into what is it that they're offering? How are they showing up in the world, right? How are the stories that we tell ourselves affecting everything in our life? I feel like it's a really big topic that a lot of people, like, they'll just hear it and then they'll move away. They're like, I don't know. I know this is not healthy that I keep thinking these thoughts, but it's a lot of work, or so they think, to overcome those thoughts. But do you ever, like, does that resonate with you?
Yeah. I mean, what do they say? New level, new devil, right? So right now, like I'm at that point in my business where I know I need to hire a team to grow. And I've been really resistant to hiring. Like my online business manager, I hired somebody to just kind of consult and help me hire. And he's like, hey, how'd that interview go? And I'm like, didn't work out. He goes, why? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I am just being resistant to the fact that I don't want to hire somebody right now. But I know, like, it's the same thing. It's like just doing something new makes people uncomfortable, and we want to just stay comfortable with what we know. But I know that to grow further and to have a bigger impact, I really need to hire a team, you know? And I think that's kind of the next step for me, is just putting in those processes and systems so I could just focus on what I love doing, which is creating.
Yes, amazing. Thank you for sharing that. You're not alone in that. So many people feel that way. It's the feeling of nobody can do it as good as me, or it's just scary to add payroll to the budget. Or I personally, when I started hiring, I was afraid that I'd have work for right now, and then for some reason it would like fall off and I would let them down. And so thank you for being willing to share that. And I think it's like you said, it's like, okay, new story, it's required to make the impact I want. Yes.
I like that. It is required. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's, I don't even know. I think my biggest hesitation around it is I really want an office with people like around me working. So my brother's full-time with my company, hired him as an intern when he was in college. And right now it's just me and him, online business manager. And I think it'd be really awesome to like get an office space and like hire people within and like have a real like, that's not necessary, but I think it'd be really cool. Like, you ever see like Billie Jean's office and all the people there, and like it looks so fun. I don't know.
Yes, I agree. And I've toggled personally back and forth between the two because I have team members in Pakistan and Bangladesh, and there are some times where, you know, I'm traveling for months in different parts of the world and I love it. And then there are other times where I just crave being able to have, you know, I have a videographer that, you know, comes over to the house and films with me. And so like, that is amazing. So I feel you on that about having an office, and I know exactly what you're talking about with Billie Jean.
We're in a virtual world now, and everyone's kind of working remote, you know, and I think it's interesting. And I know we don't need to have that, but I think like I kind of miss that like office camaraderie and like everyone kind of just, you know what I mean? So
yeah. At least having the option is so beautiful. Well, thank you for this incredible conversation. Please tell people where they can go find more information, get plugged in with you.
Awesome. Yeah. Sales Funnel Mastery Facebook group. It's my home. I'm in there every day. So come check it out.
Nice. Doug, thank you. I'm so glad we did this.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Paige. And thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop some comments. I'll keep an eye on that and answer any questions you guys have.
Yeah. Pop in any comments you guys have. A hello to Jillian, Dawn, Laura, Daryl, Samuel, Erhan, Bill, Brett, and Vina. Drop any questions or comments and we will circle back around. And if I did not say your name, then I don't know, wave or put an emoji. And we'll see you guys next time.
See you guys.
Bye.